Hey guys, and welcome to the school station. Today's video is going to be about calculating with powers indices, and this from the Edexcel GCSE Maths 91 paper from the unit number. Today's video is going to be obviously about calculating with powers and questions involving powers and indices. So I really hope you guys enjoy this video, and I hope this helps you because we're going to be looking at a variety style of questions about powers. So let's just get right into the video. So first of all, what are powers and indices? The power of a number says how many times to use a number in a multiplication. It is written as a small number to the right and above the base number. In this example, for example, we have 8 squared, and 8 squared literally means 8 times 8. If it was 8 to the power of 3 with a small 3 in the top, it would mean 8 times 8 times 8. So basically, it tells you how many times to use a base number, okay? So it's really that simple. We just have to know that the small number tells us how many times to use the base number. Other names for power are index or exponent, so you have to also look out for those in exam questions. So now that we've actually clarified what are powers and indices, it's basically numbers that tell you how many times to use a base number. Now we're actually going to go on to the rules of powers and indices, and these rules are actually going to be very important for the rest of the video and your exam, so you should definitely try to memorize these and try to know the rules. So first of all, we have the rule of multiplying powers. So for example, if we have this, so this obviously represents the same base number, so x is always going to be the same number. It can't be 5 to the power of something times 6 to the power of something, then the rule won't work. So the base number has to be the same. But the rule of multiplying powers is usually if we multiply the same number m times n, so the powers are m times n, we will basically have to add the powers together. So if we have 5 squared times 5 to the power of 3, then we would do 2 plus 3, which is 5. So it'd be 5 to the power of 5. So it would basically be like that. The rule of dividing powers is x to the power of m divided by x to the power of n. So again, the base number is the same, and we basically have to just subtract the m minus n. So whatever the number is, again, if you have 5 to the power of 3 divided by 5 to the power of 2, it will be 5 to the power of 1, or just 5 itself, because we would do 3 minus 2. So we just basically subtract the powers, and the base number does not change. And last of all, we have the rule of working out a power to another power. So for example, if we have, let's say, 5 squared and then it has a little 3 in the top next to it, what we would do is we would actually do 2 times 3. So we would actually do 2 times 3, and that would be 5 to the power of 6, because 2 times 3 is 6. So basically, if it's in brackets and it has a power inside and a power outside, then we basically have to multiply the powers together. So that's basically the 3 main rules of multiplying, dividing, and working out a power to another power. So yeah, you just have to remember these powers, and you should be good for the rest of the video and your exams. So since we've actually now know about the rules, now I would actually like you to start off with one example, and this is an example of what type of question could come up. So I want you to work out these problems: 3 to the power of 3, 4 times 4 squared, 2 to the power of 3 times 10 to the power of 2, minus 1 and cubed, and then 3 squared times 5. So pause this video and try these questions. Alright guys, so I hope you guys have tried these questions out, and here is the answers. So basically we have 3 to the power of 3. We obviously know that that would basically repeat. So 3 times 3 times 3 is 27, and then minus 1 to the power of 3. So basically we would be doing minus 1 times minus 1 times minus 1. So let's just start off by just doing this. Minus 1 times minus 1 would be 1. And then because 2 negatives make a positive, so minus 1 times minus 1 would make 1, and then 1 times minus 1 would make minus 1, because a positive and a negative make a negative. So 1 times minus 1 would turn out to be minus 1. So minus 1 to the power of 3 will be minus 1. 4 times 4 squared would be 64 because we again just add the powers together because we're multiplying. So 1 plus 2 is 3. So 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. 3 squared times 5. Over here again we have an invisible 1 which we can't see. But 2 plus 1 is but obviously even if we was actually, sometimes people can get tricked because the base number is not the same. So we would basically do 3 times 5 which is 45. And then over here the base number is still not the same, so we would do 2 times 2 times 2 times 10 times 10, which is 800. So I hope you guys have actually got the same answers as me. So now we're going to go on to the second type of question that you may get, and this actually, I've actually already answered this for you guys because it might be a little bit confusing. So 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. So 4 to the power of 4 divided by 4 to the power of 2. So how would you solve that? You literally just have to multiply them together. So 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 is 256 divided by 4 times 4, which is 16. And 256 divided by 16 is 16. So that's basically your answer. It was literally that easy. So then we actually go on to the third example, and I want you guys to actually work out this question over here. So you guys actually may get a bit overwhelmed with this question because it does have two types of brackets over here. But what it actually is that it's not really trying to overwhelm you, it's just trying to make it look a bit simpler for you guys. So try to pause this video and try this question because I think you guys can do it using the rules that we've actually mentioned earlier. Alright guys, so I hope you guys have tried the question, and here are the answers, or here is the answer. So what we have done is, first of all, we have started off, we actually use the technique of BEDMAS, and BEDMAS is brackets, exponents, division, multiplication, addition and subtraction. So we have to do those accordingly to what comes first. So first of all, we have the big, we have these brackets over here. So we do 72 divided by 2 to the power of 3 because 7 minus 5 is 2. So 2 to the power of 3 minus 3 divided by 3. So we just do step by step. And then after we have done 2 to the power of 3, we can basically simplify that to 8. So 72 divided by 8 minus 3 in brackets divided by 3. And then in this bracket, we have to see what is the most important thing, which is obviously division. Division is more important than subtraction. So 72 divided by 8 would obviously be 9, and we obviously have the leftover minus 3, so 9 minus 3 in brackets divided by 3, and then 9 minus 3 is 6, and then we have 6 divided by 3, which is 2. So this might be a bit confusing for you, so you can pause this video and try to kind of work out, but remember this is using the technique of BEDMAS, which you guys should know if you haven't already. So that's basically how you would solve this type of problem. Now we have example 4, and example 4 is actually telling us to work out 4 squared plus 3 squared, and it's actually the square root of this problem. So again, I want you guys to pause this video and try to answer this question. Alright guys, so I hope you guys have tried to answer this question, and again, here are the answers. We first of all do what is inside the square root symbol, which is 4 squared, which is 16, and 3 squared, which is 9. 16 plus 9 is 25, and the square root of 25 is 5, and this is literally how simple it is. You just have to kind of think about which comes first and do it systematically, and you should be able to get your answer. And then now we actually have example 5, and in example 5 it actually tells you to write each product as a single power. So again, what you want to do is you actually want to go on, and what it means by single power is you basically have to try to get it only to one number with a power. So for example, we just have these questions. So again, I want you to pause this video and try these questions before continuing with the rest of the video. Alright guys, I hope you guys have tried it out, but here are the answers. So what it means by single power is you basically want to get only one base number with one power. So 3 squared times 3 to the power of 4 is super simple. All you have to do is add the powers together. So 4 plus 2 is 6, so 3 to the power of 6. And then we have over here 9 to the power of 3 times 9 to the power of 4. And it's going to be 9 to the power of 7 because again we do 3 plus 4, which is 7. And we're just really using the rules that we learned earlier, so it's not even that hard. We just have to use the rules that we learned earlier. Now we're going to go on to example 6, and example 6 is actually the last example of this video. Yes, we have been looking at a variety of questions, but this is just super simple if you actually understand it. So it says write down one combination that can fill in the gaps. So basically, as you guys can see, there are gaps over here, okay? So these are the gaps that there are. So what you have to do is you have to try to fill in the gaps, and you literally just have to think about the rule that you have to follow to get 9 to the power of 12, and you should be able to find one combination that can fill in the gaps. So I want you to pause this video and try to actually answer this question. Alright guys, I hope you guys have tried it out, and here are the answers. So as I said, it says write down one combination. It didn't tell you to write down all the combinations because there are many different combinations of getting 12. So the rule of actually multiplying with numbers with powers is obviously add the powers together. So there are many combinations of actually getting 12 by adding. So one that you can do really simply is 4, 4, 4, because 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12. You can do another one is 5, 3, 4, because 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 plus 4 is 12. So again, there are really many combinations, but you just have to get only one combination that adds together to make 12, and you would have got the answer. So there you guys have it. This is basically our video about calculating with powers, indices, and exponents, or whatever you would call it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Definitely give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Just as an overview of what we have learned today, we learned how to calculate with powers, indices, and we were also able to identify the different types of problems involving indices and powers, because today we just went through 6 different examples of ways or questions you can get with calculating with powers. So it's definitely really important to try all these 6 questions and try different questions, because maths is all about practicing. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope this definitely helps you. Again, give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below for more free science and maths lessons from the school station. Bye guys!